It is always exciting to be able to get some sneak peeks or at least an early look into whatever's coming in the near future, specifically when it comes down to Android 12. Today, we're going to do a reaction to those images that Michelle posted over on the XDA portal, potentially a possible way of at least a possible new direction that Google is going with when it comes down to the UI elements at least in Android 12. This is TK, this is XDA TV. Let's go ahead and check out those images and see what could potentially be running on our devices in the near future. First thing we'll start with is the notification shade. So if we open up the notification shade, we normally have access to the normal toggles. We'll notice a few changes between the two. We have now 4 items as opposed to 6, so that means also that the icons are going to be a little bit bigger. We also notice that the icon designs are a little bit different. The other big difference that you'll notice here is that the time and the date are actually swapped on the top left. It's still present in the same spot, but they're definitely swapped a little bit. Also, we have an indicator that's present here on the top right, showing us that we're actually using a camera and the microphone currently. So those are the green icons, allowing us to actually see what's going on. The grouping of conversations are still pretty much there, conversations versus notifications. And we'll notice here that these are notifications from Gmail, Google Photos, as well as, of course, a conversation that's going with 2 messages that came in recently. It seems like the color indicator also is playing a big factor here, green meaning active as in current, and then orange being recent, and I'll explain to you what I mean by that. Now, the reason I mentioned those color distinguishing options there is because when we open up that notification shade or open up that little toggle at the top, you'll notice it does turn off a little bit orange at the top. But now we can see here that in green, the camera is using the camera, so the camera application is using camera. And of course here, chat used the microphone recently. So the orange indicator indicate a recent activity on that specific tile. So notification of when microphone or camera are being used are going to be present right there on the top right. And the color scheme will allow you to see if it was if it is currently used now or was recently. Now, relating to that, we potentially have the option of disabling camera and microphone functionality entirely. So you'll notice those 2 options that we have sitting here on the top right: disable camera and of course disabling microphone access. Location information, obviously permissions manager, as well as advanced for showing password, lock screen, etc. But those are 2 new options that hopefully will be showing up in Android, or at least the next version of Android. So definitely a little bit more cleaner elements here. So what we're looking here is that the camera and the microphone are being used currently. Of course, when they're not being used, you'll notice that we also have the indicators for new notification coming in, battery, as well as signal level, as well as Wi-Fi, and the time is still present on the top left. Now, the interesting part about this is that if you're using the camera application to record a video, as we have an indication here with this, I would say basically a preview option, it's recording for about 5 seconds. It will show you there on the top right that you're using both the microphone and the camera at the same time. And then it also looks like we've changed a little bit the elements, the way things are showing here within Android, at least Android 11 to this potential Android 12. First thing is that the camera module, or the ability to jump in between the 3 different lenses, it's present all the way on the top. On the bottom, we still have the same options to be able to switch between the different modes that we have here. And it also looks like the switching cameras are still present there on the bottom left. The one consistent option that we've seen across all of these images so far is that it seems like Google is going to be mandating the ability of actually seeing when your microphone and camera are being used across the entire UI element. Now, one of the other options that we notice here essentially is somewhat of a revamp of the way our at least widgets are going to be used within Android 12. I'm not sure if this is something that is due to the fact that many people have commented on widgets looking a little bit better on iOS than they did over on Android. So this could be a new direction for Google to address this, or at least try to improve that UI element. Android 12 could be adding a new widget called the Conversation widget. This widget would show most recent messages, missed calls, and other statuses like that. There may also be a new widget picker interface. That's the UI element that allows us to actually select a widget and add it to our home screen, but we don't really know all of the widget related changes that could be possibly coming to Android 12. So all of the information that I shared with you guys today, again, are teasers, and we haven't been able to actually confirm that this is genuinely part of Android 12. But if the indicators are true, and at least what we're looking at, we're going to have a little bit more functionality or more control over the microphone as well as the camera notification, or at least knowing when those 2 elements are being used at any given point. Also, the ability of seeing when it was used and if it was recently used. That was the other option that we noticed there with the green and orange coloring, which allows us to actually know if something used it in the past, meaning it used and it stopped using it, we'll be able to actually see that notification as well. The new widgets, the new interface options that we have here within the toggles, the notification panel, all of those definitely look very exciting, and I can't wait to get my hands on any type of either early developer preview or even obviously the betas when they become available. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of all these images and what we have today? And of course, I'll make sure to link for you guys the article that Michelle posted on the XDA portal. And thank you very much for everybody. Like and subscribe as usual. Make sure you check out my channel. Of course, I'll see you guys in the next video.